The best way to fight breast cancer is to have a plan.
What's my plan?
I have a good plan.
Every month,
I do a self-exam.
I do mine in the shower every month.
Then, once a year, I go see my nurse practitioner.
I see my nurse practitioner for a clinical exam.
When it was time, I got started getting a mammogram every year.
I do my self-exam, my clinical exam with my nurse practitioner, and then,
I get a mammogram every year.
Why?
Why do I do it?
Because I want to fight.
I'm going to fight.
You have to fight.
Hi, I'm Andrea Roan. About 1 in 8 women in the U.S. will get breast cancer, and more than 40,000 women will die from it each year. For Black women, the numbers are much worse. In fact, it's the leading cause of cancer death in Black women.
I'm Linda Brown, and I am a 29-year cancer survivor. I was living a great life, and I was very active in the church. I attended Sunday school, and I was a matron, and of course, I was with the Nurses Guild. Now, I will be teaching along with telling you my personal story. I was married with 3 children. I knew the signs and symptoms of breast cancer, and there is a buckling or a retraction of the nipple. That's number 1. Number 2, you might have a lump. Number 3, sometimes you might have an unusual discharge. But the thing to do is to get a mammogram. Early on Saturday morning, a lump was discovered. I went to the emergency room and I saw actually several doctors, and all of them said the same thing. Go to your OBGYN the next day and it doesn't look like anything. Well, you can't tell by looking. Well, I went to my gynecologist, and what she said was that I had overdosed on chocolates and caffeine. Well, a friend of mine said, you better get to Dr. Barry, which I did. Well, I went and had a biopsy. He called me himself personally, and he said, bring your husband with you. I knew what was up, and I really dreaded that call. I cried and I prayed on the way there, but mostly I cried. I had 3 children, and you know how we are about our children. You don't want to leave them, and all I could see was death in front of us. I had 2 friends going through the same thing as I was at that time. One was Ella Bell, and we would get together and laugh and talk and try to be as cheerful as possible. Well, we read the Bible, and somehow we came on 2 Kings, the 20th chapter, verses 5 through 7, where King Hezekiah had become ill. And the prophet Isaiah told him to get a poultice of figs and he would be healed. Well, first of all, I had to look up poultice, and it's nothing but a big dressing. So during that time, we decided we'd go and find some figs, which was really kind of hard in Montgomery, Alabama in April. So we left that one alone, and finally we went to Psalms. We would repeat it over and over. Psalms 23, especially the part that says, yea, though I walk through the valley in the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. This would kind of calm our nerves, and we would find out and talk about what was next. Well, after surgery, I was supposed to find out what would happen after surgery from Dr. Barry. Well, a man came in and sat down by my bed. I didn't know him. He never said a word. There was a beautiful emanating odor from him. And I was not afraid of this stranger. And when the doctor came in and told me that my cancer had not metastasized, I knew who that was sitting by my bed, and you do too. Yes, I underwent chemo. Chemo will make friends out of people you don't even know. The many IV sticks, the medication, it's terrible, but in the end, it's worth it. Radiation is a picnic almost compared to chemo. Well, at least it was for me. The new type of radiation, they had told me it would not take your hair out. Many times with chemo, it will turn your hair green or red or some color that you don't even know. And so with radiation, well, I said, well, I got the new stuff, I won't lose my hair. I was brushing my hair one morning and happened to look down, there was all my hair. Again, tears, but this time I was a little bit more prepared because I decided it was all worth it. My children were better. My 9-year-old was not crying anymore. My freshman in college doing well. My son was doing well. So it was just one of those things that happened to you. But what I would like for everybody to know is, first of all, to get your mammogram. Get them started. And don't fool around not getting your mammograms, because this is what tells the medical profession what's going on in your body, in your breasts. And breastfeed. Breastfeeding is natural, and that takes away the tendency for breast cancer. Don't ask me how, but that's what the book says. Also, know your family history. Get next to God. That is who saved me was nobody but God. Men, the same goes for you. You don't have to get a mammogram every year. But if there's something that you notice about your breasts that's not there before, that's not common, see your physician, because Black men are getting breast cancer more and more frequently. Some of the men that you know who have had breast cancer, Senator Edward Brooks had it, Ernie Green, fullback for the Cleveland Browns, Beyonce's father, Matthew Knowles, and as many more Black men who have had cancer. As I take my seat, I would like for you to always keep the Lord by your side, because where would I be 29 years later without the Lord by my side? Thank you.